You serious?
This movie exists. Hello everybody, it's JT Crafter, and today I am going to be talking about the My Hero Academia movie 2 Heroes. This is unscripted, so if I mess up, deal with it. So anyway, let's hop right into this type of review thing, but I do want to say quickly before this begins, there are going to be spoilers and other things that may be included in this video, so please don't watch if you're not aware of the movie or if you actually plan to see it. But anyway, let's just hop right into this video. Now you know there's going to be spoilers. So I'm actually not too sure about My Hero Academia as a fan, because people probably don't know this, but as of recently, due to having a lot more free time, have been binge watching a lot of different animes. Currently have 3 or 4 I've already watched, which reviews for a bunch of those are coming out soon too, just because I really want to start reviewing a few animes to give my opinion. But today, even though My Hero Academia opinion video will eventually come out, I wanted to talk about this movie movie specifically because how do I put this? I freaking hate this movie! There, I said it! I hate it! I hate this movie! It's so dumb! It's so freaking dumb! And now I'm gonna have to explain why I think it's dumb. So here we go! We'll start with the story. The story is pretty simple. I'll try to wrap it up as fast as I can. Hero goes to a new location. In the new location, Hero and Hero who supports him has to go and talk with one of Hero's supporter, one of his old friends. And then after that, while the two friends are catching up, now main character, aka Deku, learns, that's what I'm calling him, Deku, I'm not calling him by his real name, because I can't remember half the names of this show because I suck at the names. And he eventually runs into people like Ochako and a bunch of others who all end up being on the island, which is kind of convenient. But anyway, after that, quickly the whole group gets together and they end up being late to the party, which due to being late to the party, they don't know that the whole island got hacked by some bad guys, and they took the science guy hostage to the sidekick to the main character supporter, aka All Might. They bring All Might's old sidekick with them. I think he's had 2 sidekicks or partners, I don't know. So basically after that, then the main heroes decide they have to go and save the day since All Might and everyone else can't. And basically they manage to get through the levels and reach to the room and save the day for a minute before, main character's old sidekick is actually a bad guy. Shock! And after that, then main bad guy or science side characters, one of his, not his assistant, but his person he hired, betrays him. I didn't see that coming, but sure. So anyway, after that, then the bad guy gets the new apparently bad guy. I can't tell who's the bad guy. Just puts on the device and becomes evil, and they have a big fight. And then after that, they all look into the sunset oh yeah, things are gonna go great. They're all gonna be great heroes, and the movie ends. No explaining how things were explained after that. The movie just ends. It doesn't really explain much. That took me a minute or 2 to explain basically the whole premise of the movie. I hate it. Even though I was late to the My Hero Academia party, and I actually watched the movie along with watching seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4, which that's where I'm currently at. I'm at the final season. I wrapped up the final season at episode 23. I know there's 2 more that are coming out, but I don't know when they're going to come out. And this movie, I had such high hopes for this movie. And it just ended up being a huge disappointment. The story was pretty boring. and the plot was cliche. Fun fact, the scientist sidekick guy who I mentioned before, I predicted either him or his daughter who shows up in the movie were gonna be the bad guys. What happened? I predicted that in the first 20 minutes. It was revealed in the last 10 to 15 or so minutes in the film, maybe 20, but around that time. I guessed before the movie, actually maybe I guessed in the first 10 minutes, because it was just, everything about this movie was so predictable. The movie started off kind of boring in a way too. They kind of just did things where they showed a few recaps, and also once again told us about how Deku had no quirk or anything like that. And yeah, if you don't know what quirks are, they're when people get superpowers, yada yada. I can explain that in its own video. But if you guys were walking into this with spoilers, then I thought you must know, but if you don't, oof. So then he gets his magical quirk from the main supporting hero, which we already know. Why are we learning about this again? You literally inform us every other episode, maybe even more than that. This movie was so annoying. I had such high hopes watching this movie. I thought, okay, this is a really interesting flashback from the character All Might to the sidekick hero person. I thought this was going to be a really interesting story, like maybe he's going to have to face his past with a evil version of himself, or someone who's equally as powerful as him, or some kind of rival, or maybe Deku's going to meet some bad guy or someone who could stand up to him just as strongly with the same power abilities and thoughts as him. But no. The name Two Heroes doesn't even make sense. It's literally, it just literally makes no sense. I want to talk about the main character sidekick's daughter, but she is very, very useless in the film. In fact, I don't think she really does much besides help a little bit in the end. But for the most part, she doesn't do much. And this movie, it almost annoys me that it exists. A story. They had anything could have been set up. Such an interesting storyline stuff could all have been set up for this. And they chose this. Why do people like this? Why? I can only think of 2 positive scenes, specifically scenes that I found entertaining in this film. Most of it was either boring, dumb, or dull. The plot twists were really predictable, and the main characters, they didn't really do much. I could have seen so many ways this movie could have gone so much better. But no, we have to go the cliche, trope, boring route. There were so many options here, but you chose none of them for a cliche plot. If you want to know the 2 scenes from this movie I'm actually talking about, it's one of the scenes on the island where Deku learns that all of his friends are there. That scene had me laughing hard. I had no idea everyone would show up here. I really thought it was just going to be All Might and Deku for the entire movie, so to see them all show up there conveniently but still funny, it was really fun. And the only other scene would probably have to be the final battle. Sure, it wasn't the best to look at, but it was still entertaining and exciting and thrilling. But most of the movie is dull, boring, and it doesn't make up for the fact that this movie is just really stupid. I went into this movie thinking, well, if it's as good as the show story, for the most part, yeah, the show has a few questionably boring parts, but for the most part, it was really good. This movie has to at least have enough redeemable qualities to make it good. But it didn't even have that. If you wanted a really fun, adventurous, I said fun already, but a really great time movie, this one might not be it. it'd be more of a I'll put this on in the background and maybe I'll listen or pay attention to it once in a while. This movie annoyed me. I'm just glad they went back to good storytelling with season 4, but this movie was one of the most dumb movies I've ever watched. Really wish they did better for this movie because it really didn't deserve the stupid story that it was given. I don't know what people are thinking to give this movie good reviews because it really is a trash movie. I think it was really, really bad. And I really, really regret watching it. I think the only time I'd go and rewatch it is for those 2 scenes I mentioned before specifically. They were funny or awesome. But I'm gonna admit something. The Sword Art Online movie is 5,000 times better. Which is saying a lot. Okay, no, it's not. The movie's already fantastic. I love that movie so much. This movie was trash, though. This movie was just a big disappointment. If you want me to list more, I could make an extended video, but if we could go off the basics, they didn't really use all the characters that well, and the ones they did use, they used to the bare minimum, besides Deku, and I don't actually think All Might was in it that much, other than just create small little dialogue scenes, and another thing is the fact that while a lot of this action was great, the things that supported it, like the characters and the matchups and everything, it wasn't the best. And for the most part, the movie was just, it needed a lot of work. On a rating scale, I'd probably have to say this movie was about a 4 out of 10. Those 2 scenes were the only thing that made it stay over a 1. And I say I add the other 2 to it out of the 4 just because, well, the characters who were focused on were really good. I just don't watch this movie more than once, and if you're seeing this review and don't care about spoilers, don't watch the movie. It is such a pain to watch. I can only think of one movie I hate more than this one, but that's not animation, it's live action, so I don't think it counts. But that was it. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see more anime my opinion videos, let me know. I plan to release one for a series called In Another World with my smartphone in the near future, and actually currently working on an anime series where I make a whole my opinion series based off one anime season by season, and also a My Hero Academia my opinion video also planning to come in the future. But that was it. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you around, and don't forget, if you want to see more videos like this, or just my gaming videos in general, I upload gaming here, fun facts, then you could subscribe. You don't have to. It's not a demand, it's a choice, and I shall see you around. Peace.